In the headlines, an alleged robber attacks a handicapped person. A local woman is jailed after police seize her alleged drugs. This week, local young professionals had the opportunity to learn about an organization they could call their own. We'll fill you in on the latest in a possible chicken plant coming to the area, and we'll hear part 2 of some concerned citizens who spoke up and got some action. These stories and more coming up on NewsBreak starting now.
From WHIG TV, this is NewsBreak 31. Now, here's Marie Torres.
Hello, and thanks for tuning in to WHIG TV NewsBreak, your voice in the community. I'm Marie Torres. An alleged robber attacks a handicapped person. Over the weekend, Rocky Mount police say a 41-year-old male victim was attacked by an acquaintance with a pot. The suspect is believed to be 44-year-old Randy Andrew Foster. Police say the victim, whose name was not released, managed to subdue Foster until police arrived at the home on 917 North Raleigh Street. Foster is charged with robbery with a dangerous weapon and assault on a handicapped person. He was also served a worthless check warrant and received a $25,000 secured bond. He sits in Edgecombe County Jail. The victim, who was treated for minor head injuries, has since been released from Nash General Hospital. Officers investigating a loud music complaint come across a lot more. Recently, 23-year-old Eddie Rufus Richardson III was jailed after police engaged in a short foot pursuit on the 300 block of North Tillery Street. Rocky Mount police say what they found on the suspect was a .357 revolver handgun along with 15 individual bags of marijuana, a total of 11.4 grams. Richardson is charged with possession of a firearm by a felon, carrying a concealed weapon, possession with the intent to sell and deliver marijuana, possession of less than 1/2 ounce of marijuana, and possession of drug paraphernalia. He was jailed in Nash County. At least 4 people are facing criminal charges after a night at the club gets violent. This week inside the Boat Ride Club, located at 1874 Stone Rose Drive, it's alleged that 19-year-old Michael Lynch, 23-year-old Anwar Dickens, and 25-year-old Byron Howington attacked a 35-year-old man. The altercation then led to the parking lot when the victim was pistol whipped about his head. All 3 suspects are charged with assault with a deadly weapon inflicting serious injury. One more suspect, 22-year-old Veronica Lynch, was charged with disorderly conduct. All 4 spent time for the crime in Nash County Jail. And a local woman is jailed after police seize her alleged drugs. Recently, Rocky Mount police arrested 42-year-old Alicia Renna Johnson at her home on 722 East Grand Avenue. There, police say they found 1.7 grams of crack cocaine, 0.24 grams of marijuana, drug paraphernalia, and $45. Johnson is charged with possession with the intent to sell and deliver cocaine, maintaining a dwelling for the use of drugs, possession of marijuana, and possession of drug paraphernalia. She received a $5,000 unsecured bond. Now in our Your Voice segment, we're the first to break this next story where the pleas for help in one area community led to the arrest of a registered sex offender who had been wanted by Dare County authorities for more than 7 years. And he was living right next door. That was just one part of what citizens say they were going through. Here's part 2 of their story. Residents in the West Mountain Drive, Stony Creek subdivision say they face several issues with a group home that houses maybe 5 or 6 males and females. They say at Open Hearts Group Home there is trash and beer bottles in the yard, unkept grass in the summer, and other disturbances both day and night. But what they found about one of the residents was just shocking.
We went online. I had called this Miss Amy Raleigh to ask her about these particular individuals, or if they had any criminal records or felonies, or if they were any sexual predators or anything, and they told me that they had no right, that we had no right to know. Well, today we initially went on the computer, me and Chad did, and we went and looked up, and there is a sex offender there, and he has currently got a warrant out on him right now. And what's sad is that this gentleman that we've seen has been roaming through our lots, and I've got no trespassing signs up to start with, and I told that other young lady there the same thing, don't come back, that this guy's got a warrant out for an arrest. And he's got some serious charges of, number one, he's been charged with second-degree rape. He's been charged with breaking and entering with stolen property and drug paraphernalia. And what is sad is that we've got a foster home that's less than 75 feet with 2 young boys there. And the neighbors behind me, behind my house, they've got 2 young girls. And what's sad in this, we got Faith Christian Home that's sitting right here at our back door. And it's sad that the system is not picking up. Even there's a current warrant on somebody, and we got a sex offender in a state-run facility that's got a current warrant out. Who is doing their homework?
One of the neighbors, a grandmother, fears to even have her grandchildren over and is concerned about her own safety.
Every time we come out, my husband and I, they're standing there watching us. And you say, how do you know? Because they're looking down here, talking on their phones. And my husband has even observed the fact of him walking up and down the highway using foul language. Really, really bad language. And, you know, I have 2 small grandchildren, and I don't want them in the yard and him walking by the road talking ugly. And then on the 27th of December, there was footprints in the snow that led from the footprints of where he had entered my neighbor's yard that came up to my bedroom window and to my other bedroom window, and then it went right back out the same way. And you know, that's not a very safe feeling. I'm very concerned of peeping toms.
She even thinks perhaps more than legal medication is going on next door.
Well, usually during the night, there's cars going in and out all night long, or from 12 to 4 is the main time. Because when they drive in over there, they flash, the lights flash in my bedroom window. And I know what it is because I've gotten up several times and looked, and it's a car there. And they will only stay 10, 15 minutes at the time, and they leave.
So do you all think that there may be drug activity going on?
There's something not right. I hate to accuse anybody of anything, but why would you be having company in and out every 10, 15 minutes at night, especially in those hours when you're supposed to be asleep?
Her grandson says he now worries about his grandparents living in this once peaceful neighborhood.
Seeing what's going on in the neighborhood, and I mean, especially during the snow, seeing tracks and stuff, I mean, it does really concern me. Just a few months ago, they also had a resident that, to a neighbor off of Westmount, actually kicked their front door in at 10:30 at night with him there. So if they're going to do that at 10:30 at night, knowing someone is there, what else are they capable of doing?
Right.
Especially with my grandmother and grandpa going out at night or coming in at night, you know, I worry about someone hiding, you know, behind a trash can, behind their other car, anything like that with their safety.
And one resident even has a disability.
Yeah, I've had major reconstructive surgery to my spine, and I have a blood clotting disability. And my safety is fear if someone were to come in, and it's really, especially when I know that I've got a person next door to me that's got an active warrant out right now, and he's got a criminal record like this. I'm very insecure. And also, I just don't understand how the system between a warrant being out, being the state, they know who's in their system supposedly that they're getting state and federal funding for, and there's a warrant out. Why hasn't this person been picked up? And we've had a police officer named Officer Copenfield came out, and he stated that when we was telling him, he saw the footprints in the snow, and he said he was 99% sure who he thought it was, because that they had missing reports made out on some of the residents over there where they were getting missing. And it makes you wonder, God, where's the supervision if they're roaming off and the police is having to be called out to find them?
What these residents say is that they need help and feel the state is just giving them the runaround. They express what they want to be done.
Well, we would like for the facility to be cleaned up in a standard way and be some proper supervision. But we can't be having these residents roaming around our neighborhood. And like I said, the profanity that they were using, I've had to call the law out here specifically before the foul language. I'm not going to have my 92-year-old grandmother coming over to the house and when I'm using the F word hollering over. No, I might have to hear it out in the street in the public, but I don't have to hear it at my front door.
WHIG TV, Rocky Mount. That wanted person spoken of in this piece is George Sutton, and he was arrested Friday. Based on these citizens' concerns, we contacted the two women who operate Open Hearts Group Home. They are Debbie Telfair and Letitia Dickens. We also called Stacy Farrell, who owns the home. All of them have yet to return our calls. We did, however, get some answers from the state. According to Jim Jones, a media and relations person with the North Carolina Division of Health and Human Services, the facility has been open under the current operators for more than a year and serves adults with developmental disabilities. A minimum of one person on staff must be present, but unsupervised time is allowed if it meets the client's treatment plan. There are no rules against drinking alcohol, though it is not always best to allow according to the client's health or medication. No criminal background checks are required prior to the admission to these homes. There are no rules against registered sex offenders living in the home, thus it doesn't matter if men and women live there together. The state says their rules do require assessment on whether or not a facility can provide services to address individual needs. And when we return on Newsbreak, some rules may change, but it still looks like a go-ahead for a chicken processing plant to nest itself in Nash County. And area young professionals are recruiting. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak after this break.
You waited patiently. Now it's time. Clearance time at Davenport Honda in Rocky Mount. Hundreds of brand new Hondas, all tagged with the year's lowest prices, with savings up to $6,000 and a lifetime warranty on every vehicle. But hurry, because at Davenport Honda, these deals are the one thing that won't last forever. Davenport Honda in Rocky Mount, your dealership for life.
WHIG, your community station, is bringing you news that's impacting our area. If you see breaking news or have an event you'd like us to cover, make sure you contact us at 252-885-1814 or email us at marie.whigtv@gmail.com. WHIG TV Newsbreak, your voice in the community.
The Country Inn & Suites is your home away from home with a staff that always treats you as family. If you or your church or company has visitors, give them a great Rocky Mount welcome with a special discount on their overnight or extended stay. Not only is the Country Inn & Suites a comfortable place, we'll spoil them with fresh cookies and complimentary breakfast. We are filled with luxuries like an indoor pool, fitness center, and a guest laundry. The Business Center includes a boardroom, connection to high-speed internet, and catering for meetings is always available. Call me, Donna Chavis, at 252-442-0500 for a tour and or to set up your corporate rate. You're always welcome as family in the Country Inn & Suites, Rocky Mount.
Welcome back to Newsbreak. I'm Marie Torres. This week, local young professionals had the opportunity to learn about an organization they could call their own. The Young Professionals Network of Rocky Mount celebrated their 2011 kickoff at two sites Tuesday. One included this luncheon where former members, new officers, and potential newcomers were allowed to be informed about their group and network with each other. This year's president, Tequila Smith, shared with us about their recent activities and what YPN is all about.
The Young Professionals Network, it gives young professionals in the area the opportunity to socialize and network with others, other young professionals. It gives you the opportunity to be involved in service areas if that's a choice, if that's something that you're interested in. Also sports. We do have socials, and that does include the sports aspect. So we participate in 4 different co-rec leagues. Some of the young professionals that are here aren't from this area. Some are, they've left and they've come back, or some may just be brand new to the area. And it's a way to learn more about Rocky Mount and learn about other businesses and, gain contacts and things like that, just to make, feel welcome. You can look us up on the web at www.ypnrmt.com. We also have a Facebook page. You can find us that way as well, and also on Twitter. And I can personally be reached at my office at 446-7188.
Members with our area's YPN will even be using some of their volunteer efforts here at our station. That will be during WHIG TV's telethon on Sunday, January 30th from 1 to 5 p.m. that aims to help the Christian Fellowship Home for Recovering Men. There are several changes to come in Nash County, one of those possibly being a chicken processing plant. Tuesday, the Nash County Planning Board recommended its modifications to the county's Unified Development Ordinance and Land Development Plan. Officials met to discuss several changes on the county's process of approving property, rezoning, and amendments, as well as timing of mailed notices of public hearings. The changes also include clarifying vague language in the ordinance. This goes to help ward off further lawsuits. Currently, a lawsuit filed by more than 30 residents of Nash and Wilson counties disputes the county didn't follow proper procedures and rezoning land being considered for a poultry plant to be owned and operated by Sanderson Farms near the interchange of NC 97 and Interstate 95. But the opposition does not seem to be swaying the decision of the company. Sanderson Farms officials say it still plans to locate a 108,000 square foot plant in Nash County. Last week, executives from the Laurel, Mississippi-based business toured the area. Sanderson Farms executives say they are still committed to bringing a plant to our county. CEO of the company, Joe Sanderson, says the opposition is based on bad information. The plant is expected to bring an estimated 1,100 jobs to the area. And well, it's not a chicken, but well, let's take a look at our pet of the week right after these words.
You waited patiently. Now it's time. Clearance time at Davenport Honda in Rocky Mount. Hundreds of brand new Hondas, all tagged with the year's lowest prices, with savings up to $6,000 and a lifetime warranty on every vehicle. But hurry, because at Davenport Honda, these deals are the one thing that won't last forever. Davenport Honda in Rocky Mount, your dealership for life.
WHIG, your community station, is bringing you news that's impacting our area. If you see breaking news or have an event you'd like us to cover, make sure you contact us at 252-885-1814 or email us at marie.whigtv@gmail.com. WHIG TV NewsBreak, your voice in the community.
The Country Inn & Suites is your home away from home with a staff that always treats you as family. If you or your church or company has visitors, give them a great Rocky Mount welcome with a special discount on their overnight or extended stay. Not only is the Country Inn & Suites a comfortable place, we'll spoil them with fresh cookies and complimentary breakfast. We are filled with luxuries like an indoor pool, fitness center, and a guest laundry. The Business Center includes a boardroom, connection to high-speed internet, and catering for meetings is always available. Call me, Donna Chavis, at 252-442-0500 for a tour and or to set up your corporate rate. You're always welcome as family in the Country Inn & Suites, Rocky Mount.
Thanks for staying with us. Now let's see our pet of the week.
We have Charlie. Charlie was my first foster child with Shih Tzu and Fur Baby Rescue 8 years ago. And well, he started out as being a foster, but ended up staying forever. He's a Shih Tzu. He came from a bad beginning. He was abused pretty bad, so he still has a little attitude, but he's my baby, and I just want people to know that you can find wonderful, wonderful animals through rescues and shelters. Like I said, he's a purebred Shih Tzu. He was 3 years old when I adopted him, and so he'll be 11 this March.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was that old.
And he's just a wonderful baby. He has made a lot of progress since, I got him. I don't think he has forgotten all the bad things that has happened to him, but he's got a good life now.
All right, and Shelley, if you would just tell us how important it is to adopt animals, rescue efforts or even animal shelters.
It's so important because there are so many that just end up there, no fault of their own, and that deserve the same life that a dog that comes from a breeder deserves. And there's already so many of them there that it's a shame that people would still go and pay $300-400 for a dog just because it's purebred when you can go to the shelter and pretty much get the same thing, and a lot of times they're a little bit older and already potty trained and all that good stuff. The puppy stuff is out of the way. So, but yeah, that's why it's important.
And when you adopt from a rescue, they come fully vetted, all their shots, spayed and neutered, yeah.
And they pretty much already know what their temperament's going to be like, so they can kind of match it up with what you're looking for, which is good. And
I think they appreciate it. The animals know when they've been adopted and have gotten good homes. I think they really appreciate it and know that they finally found a good place.
Okay, and this is, again, give us the name.
This is Charlie.
All right,
and
Charlie.
From Shih Tzu and Fur Baby Rescue.
I think he knows what we're talking about. Hey, Charlie.
He's a little
Everyone's
lamb.
watching you, Charlie. Thank you, ladies and gentle dog. And thank you for tuning in to NewsBreak today. Join us next week as we continue to bring you news that's impacting our community. For WHIG TV, I'm Marie Torres. We'll see you next time.